And speaking of guys that should have got lowballed, because that Washington Wizards contract was, oh man, with the no trade clause was bugged out. But the Phoenix Suns, now they got to deal with the fallout from it. And
Yeah.
Bradley Beal, man, was benched. And the Suns all season have been struggling, man. They're 9-2 since November 12th, right? They were
The
start off the
second head
season.
coach too. Let's
Yeah,
not forget.
they started
Mm.
off the season beautiful, like 9-2 on November 12th, and after that, they went.
It's been downhill.
Yeah, man, they had 7 wins in almost like 2 months and 17 losses in 24 games, bro. That is crazy, man.
Questions become is how many coaches can you fire?
Exactly. I mean, at the end of
Because
the
you
day,
fired Vogel, you hired Budenholzer.
this benching was coming from a long time, bro. We spoke about this before.
Yeah.
We said, when is Bradley Beal gonna go to the bench, man? Like,
Well, now you're paying an expensive bench player.
mm-hmm. And you know, it's
I
it's
think
it's a lot going on with this team, bro.
this team does not have role players
They
that you
don't.
can really rely on. I think like Tyce Jones is cool. Ryan Dunn is cool. Mason Plumlee is a solid backup big. I think Yusuf Nurkic has regressed a lot since his like borderline All Star year in like 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not getting good production players. I think there's a player that I do want to talk about that I could bring up later. I have him on my list, but with Bradley Beal, it's just I think the conversation goes back to in the 2010s. You had a lot of players getting expensive contracts, and now you're seeing the aftermath of those players getting expensive contracts in
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Beal.
Yep. And with the new CBA changes, I mean, they
Yes,
got some bad losses, man. I believe Memphis had a lot of starters out. They lost to Memphis.
yes.
They lost to Brooklyn. Oh, they lost
A
to
trash
Detroit.
Charlotte team.
Yeah, they lost to Detroit. They lost to the Mavericks with no Luka, but that's regular. Kyrie was still playing. They lost to Charlotte the other night.
Yeah, and that's a trash team.
Yeah, it's man.
Yeah,
They got a lot of L's, man. A lot of L's
yeah.
since starting 9-2 by November 12th. Ever since then, my God,
And
bro, they're struggling.
you know, and you know what? Credit to or love to the Washington Wizards because they got off at the good time.
Yeah, they got off with a good time, but the Wizards, man, they have a history of giving out these bullshit ass contracts. Remember, what's his name?
Yeah, John
Gilbert.
Wall,
Yeah, John Wall, the Gilbert Arenas deal, and now the
Otto
Bradley.
Porter.
Yeah, Otto Porter. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
I don't know why
There's a
any
lot of
team would
bullshit.
want to make a trade with them, having a player under contract. It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, because he's getting overpaid. I think Bradley Beal and Porzingis might have been their best moves and getting rid of their contracts and
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff. But I think they 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 got out at this right time. I think Bradley Beal. I always felt like he was a player content with being on a bad team
Yep.
because now because I don't he hasn't really made sacrifices for a team with Kevin Durant and Evan Booker, which is kind of crazy to me. There hasn't been much of a Bradley Beal. Oh, let me develop my playmaking skills while those two guys score and I can run with the second unit and score. You don't really see that.
Mm-hmm. And this is where the NBA in this parity era that we were talking about earlier, they're gonna have to
Yeah,
move away from guys like this because in the previous era they keep labeling guys like Bradley Beal a star, but then you don't see any playoff success. You don't see any playoff appearances. They're playing on teams that clearly are rebuilding,
but
and
I
then
think
they
Beal
keep
for the
signing with.
longest.
Hold on, they keep signing extensions, and then finally you see them on a winning team, and there's no effect on winning that's happening on
Yeah,
the court, and you're just like, what the fuck?
yeah, I agree. I think Beal has been a top 25 player. When you're a top 25 player on a nothing team, eh, when you're on a team with something, you struggle to kind of adopt.
Hmm. But his contract is untradeable, bro. The number is
Yeah,
too
that
high.
contract's horrible. I think the
Yeah.
worst part is not only that it's untradeable, it's the fact that it has that no trade clause.
Woo. Yeah, only the Washington Wizards can have some shit like this, boy.
Yeah,
Yo, this is the third straight bad contract that they had with a quote unquote star. Gilbert Arenas hurt. He had that major injury. The owner still gave him a deal. John Wall. Then he got injured like twice. And now Bradley Beal, no trade clause on top of that.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, man. But here's Bradley Beal's reaction when he was asked about the benching. And keep in mind, man, the first time he came off the bench, he was cooking. I believe he dropped 26 points. But here's Bradley Beal speaking about his benching.
These last 24, 48 hours been like for you?
A little difficult. I'm not gonna lie. But when coach made his decision, you live with it. Either pout with it or do something about it and just go compete, do what I do. So I did that, you know.
You definitely did the latter. Maybe just speak to how you got into a rhythm early. It felt like once you got in, it was be aggressive and do that, be you in that sense on the offensive end.
That's all I was trying to do. Just be me. Be me, have fun doing that.
Were you surprised at all that you would be moved to add a starting line?
100%.
Had there been like any indication before this might be something?
No.
What's your mindset? You know, when they tell you you've been a starter pretty much since you was a shorty. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your mindset now? It's like, now you're coming off the bench. Like, what you thinking about?
I mean, it's kind of twofold, man. Like, cause yeah, I'm a starter in the league. Like, I firmly believe that. Like, I don't believe, like, no disrespect to anybody, but I'm a starter.
You're supposed to.
And that's what I firmly believe. But coach made his decision. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with him. I'm not gonna sit here and be a distraction. I'm not gonna sit here and be an asshole. Like, he made his decision. I live with it. He's a coach. You know what I'm saying? So I just gotta go out and play my game, do what I do, and whatever happens from there happens from there.
Did the coach make the decision, or did KD at some point approach the front office and made that decision?
Bro, I think it's all around everyone made that decision, bro.
You know they spoke to KD about this.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, but Budenholzer is late to adjustments, but at some point he had to make some adjustments.
Man, from the outside looking in, a lot of us seen this shit a while back. Was like, yo, bro.
I wasn't a fan of the trade when it happened, bro.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was. But it seems like the Suns owner, he suffers from that Steve Ballmer itis. When they first buy a team, they're trying to buy a championship, and that shit don't work.
But I'm gonna be honest, I think that Aiden contract, they kind of needed something out of it, you know. So I think Bradley Beal was something that kind of it was necessary, but it just didn't pan out.
Yeah, and also the new CBA, once again, that shit kicked in. I don't know if that owner was even looking at it, because he got money, man. He purchased this team for like $4 billion and paid for it.
Yeah,
like in
he
a
got
month.
money. He got money, and I think the DeAndre Ayton, a bad contract you have to cover with another bad contract. You know what it is. The Aiden contract's dog shit. So what can you really do at that point?
True.
Was it Aiden or Chris Paul? One of those two contracts, still dog shit. So you have to do something with those contracts, regardless.
Yeah, and Bradley Beal had to approve that trade to the Suns, correct?
Yes, because he has no trade clause.
Yeah, and the Suns, man, the way the cap is structured right now, they can only fish out of the minimum market to get a new guy on the team.
That's why they got Royce O'Neal and Grayson Allen. And Grayson Allen had a questionable, good season, but questionable overall career. But they were very quick to bite the bullet and give him that extension.
Yep. And Tyus Jones actually took less money to come on this team so he could actually start.
Yeah, Tyus Jones and Monty Morris.
And it's so funny. All this, KD's legacy is attached to all this. Like KD's legacy of just winning something outside of Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. But Bradley Beal had more to say. I'm gonna finish playing this.
But those are coach questions.
I'm sorry. The crazy part about it is the starting lineup. The original was out there quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, as coach.
Oh, that yeah. I mean, but did you sense that was going to be the case?
Yeah, as coach.
Will do.
How hard is it to get your rhythm coming off the bench versus starting?
It's different, for sure. But I just kind of programmed myself like it was my second time coming back into the game, right? Like I subbed out the first time and I was just keeping my body warm. And when I check back in, just be aggressive off the rip. So it wasn't too bad.
That was interesting because Budenholzer, he ended up playing. They're so thin with their lineups, man. He ended up just fucking playing the same guys anyway. Well, here's Bradley Beal talking about how he actually holds all the cards in this situation with his no trade clause.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you've been aware of kind of like all the other stuff, moving parts around the league, Jimmy and all that.
Yeah.
there's some speculation around the league that this is related to that. Have you thought about kind of like moving on and starting related to the bigger picture?
If so, I need to be addressed because I hold the cards. So until I'm addressed and somebody says something different, then I'm gonna be the son.
Yo, he holds all the cards, baby.
He's right.
Yeah, Bradley Beal holds all the cards, and it's funny because he holds all the cards, but even though he signed the no trade clause with the Wizards, they kind of forced him out.
Yeah, they did.
They kind of forced him out. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these guys, you know, they have like the superstar accessibility, right? Taking all the shots, getting all the glory, but when there's no winning attached to it, man,
Yeah.
it's been too many years, bro. After a while, man, it's like, yeah, of course, you know, your talent, you're starting the league, but when are you gonna start having winning attached to your name? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you got Devin Booker on your team, KD. Like, I think there might be. See, this is where teams that are kind of like too top heavy run into a wall, because somebody has to make a sacrifice. You know what I mean? Like, somebody has to make a sacrifice. And I'm wondering if Beal was kind of that guy that already made a sacrifice with his shooting attempts, but the real sacrifice is him coming off the bench, bro.
Yeah, that would be the real sacrifice because he can't defend anyone.
Yeah, and it's like he does the same thing as Devin Booker. He play makes.
Yeah.
It's
Plays
just,
off ball.
yeah, it's just like the same thing repetitive.
Yeah.
And KD, even though they got Tyus Jones, Devin Booker's out there, Bradley Beal, yo, one thing about KD, man, there's too much ball handling coming from him at times with that offense.
I mean, dude, you don't have a consistent playmaker beside like Tyus Jones and Monte Morris.
Yeah, and this was the issue the Clippers had in the bubble with Kawhi and Paul George. They constantly had to bring the ball up and play make.
Yeah.
And they were never in position to, like, you know, take advantage of an ISO or switch, get a advantage, you know, get a advantageous switch, or just get the ball closer to the hoop. They always had to, like, bring the ball up, start the offense, and then they'll get turnovers off of that. Like, it was just a mess, man. It was just a mess. Did the Clippers get Westbrook the following season? I think they tried to get a playmaker, someone to handle the ball.
Yeah.
They got somebody. I'm not sure they got Westbrook right away. They got somebody to handle the rock, but
they didn't get
one of their
Westbrook right away.
issues.
Reggie Jackson, I believe.
Yeah, but the Suns right now, they have the same exact issue, and yeah, that no trade clause, man, is coming back to bite motherfuckers in the ass, bro. It's coming
I
back
agree.
to bite them in the ass. You see Phoenix actually fixing this situation?
I think they can make a trade.
How? Like, who has cap space? But a
They don't
losing
got cap
team.
Jonas Valanciunas would be a legit option.
Yeah, it would have to be a 3-team trade,
Yeah,
man.
it'd have to be a 3 trade because they need a big man desperately.
Yo, honestly, to keep it a buck with you, man, it gotta be a 3-team trade where Bradley Beal goes to, like, the Hornets. He would have to go to a losing team.
We go back to Washington.
Yeah, he would have to go to a losing team. I don't know if he's gonna approve that.
Yeah, no, he's not.
His career is done. If he does that, man, it's over, bro. It's over at this point.
He's accepted that shit, bro.
You know what's the funny thing? Beal might as well stay on the team because what he could do, he has a player option in 2026-27. What he could do is tell them, hey, I'm not going to take the $57 million, but you guys could extend me for 3 more years. You know what I mean? At 30. He can get extra money by just staying with the Suns. He could actually leverage them not being able to get anyone else. It's a weird thing, man. It's a weird.
The ball is on his court.
The ball is on his court, but at the same time, it's really not, because by the time he could work out that brand new deal, KD could leave the team.
Yeah,
KD could leave. Even Booker's stuck. Yeah, Booker's stuck for a long time. This is a.
I think the only one who else like maybe trade flexibility is Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Yo, you know what's so
Yeah,
crazy? I'm looking at next season for the Phoenix Suns. They're already at $224 million owed before they even get at least 13 players on the roster. That's crazy.
bro. Don't be surprised if like Kevin Durant finds his way back into Oklahoma.
Yeah, man, this is crazy, bro. Find his way back to Oklahoma at what price? My man got $50 million on the that means the Suns are gonna end up getting a lot of the younger talent. They're gonna get what's his name, Jay Will. They're gonna get some guys back because
The only
KD
people, bro, that
KD's
they
contract is
can
too
they can
big.
keep like their three young guys, man.
They can, but they're gonna get depleted, man. KD's contract is too big.
Yeah, they're
Yo,
gonna have
they
to give up J Dubs. Not J Dubs, my bad. They're gonna have to give up J Will, maybe Isaiah Joe, a lot of guys.
Yeah, but the Suns, man,
Yeah,
they have $150 million between three players, and
yeah,
I think the apron is only at 190. That's crazy, bro.
no, 100%.
You got to fill in your roster. You only got three players out of 15. You got to fill in the rest of the roster with $40 million. Nah, man, KD's bugging, bro. KD was probably better off staying in Brooklyn, bro, and just having the Nets trade Kyrie.
Yeah, you could have played better with Mikal Bridges and a lot of those role players, or like Philly, Dorian Smith, wherever they brought up at that time.